Stop recording. Button.
Hello YouTube. This is Lachlan T 1984 from Melbourne, Australia, and I want to make this video about this National Panasonic portable radio. This radio is, I believe, the model number RF 560. Uxwbill just made a video about one of these radios on his YouTube channel. Now, the interesting thing about his radio is that it bears the Panasonic brand. You'll see from the front panel of my radio that this one actually bears the National Panasonic brand. So, there may be some minor, and of course up here on the right hand side of a tuning dial, you'll see the National badge. So there may be some slight cosmetic differences between the radios released in different regions. Of course, his radio is designed for use on 110 volts AC. This one is designed for use on 240 volts AC. You'll see that on the front panel here, we've got the tuning scale, the tuning dial, the volume dial, and the power switch. Now the power switch on this radio has three settings: off, AC, and battery. As we'll see in a minute, the power cord is permanently attached to the back of the radio. You can't unplug it, but there's a compartment inside the battery well where you can store the power cord when it's not being used. On the top of the radio, to the right hand side here, is the telescopic whip antenna. You pull it up like that, and that will give you improved FM reception. I will say FM reception on this radio, in my opinion, is pretty good. On the right hand side, and you might not be able to see it in this light, but there's the headphone socket. It accepts monaural headphones. So if you plug a set of stereo headphones into this, you'll only hear audio from the left earpiece. You can also connect an external speaker to that. There's a carrying handle on top of the radio, and on the back, in the middle there, is the band selector switch that chooses between AM and FM bands. Down the bottom here is the information plate. I think Uxwbill's radio has the information somehow embossed or moulded into the plastic. You'll see with this one, the information is printed on a black label. You'll also see here that it says model number RF560BA, but on the front of the unit it just says model number RF560. You'll see that it has power, radio frequency range. Actually no, it doesn't. It just has the power specifications: AC 240 volts or 4 AA batteries. And you'll see it recommends national branded batteries. Let me see if I can get better focus on that label.
English. Default language. English. Stop recording. Stop recording.
Well, I accidentally managed to stop the recording there. I don't quite know how I can do autofocus on this. This isn't very fun, because you'll see that it's out of focus, and I don't know how I can focus the image with voiceover running. So
Kathleen pressure. Start recording. Stop recording.
well, sorry about that. I had an unexpected phone call and my iPhone stopped recording.
English. Default language. Stop. Camera choose. Camera choose. Stop. Back. Button.
Oh, we don't want to press the back button. On the back of the radio is the battery compartment, and Uxwbill said that it has enough room to store the cord with room to spare. I find it rather difficult to put the cord and the plug into the socket, into the compartment here. You'll see that there's also the space for the 4 AA batteries. I'm just going to try and get the lid on, and I think this is going to require both hands because the cord's getting in my way. Now, I think this radio on FM may have some kind of automatic fine-tuning, because when you turn the dial, it latches onto the FM station you're tuning, I've noticed. So, as you turn the dial, there's no real gap between the stations, like there is on some radio. So I think it latches onto the station and hangs on to it.
Low power. Close. Button.
Sorry about that. It latches onto the station for as long as it can as you turn the dial. I'm going to turn the radio on now, and it's on FM, and it should be on Triple J, which is right at the top of the band.
Yeah, that's...
And I signed up for $40. Firmed when active. Min charge $199.94.
Some screens are made from perforated metals.
Industrial food and energy systems are...
Smart to guys.
What is a barbecue bacon?
Oh, James Rain, Fall But Run, good song. Oh, T-Rex. It's picking up some community radio stations. This radio has very strong FM reception.
Hi, Christine. Now, Christine...
A little time from the album. Tell me...
Are you aware?
80,000.
Beginning of the silent revolution.
There's a few Brisbane bands we've been playing with.
And now we're down at the bottom of the FM band. I'm going to switch to AM now. I think it's picking up interference from the Google Home and its AC adapter. The Google Home is right behind the radio. I'm going to turn the Google Home off. That's a little bit better, but not much. That's still pretty yuck.
They'll be a lot quicker. There'll be a lot more content jammed into it. You know, the cinema allows us to slow things down and allows things.
If you go to the Money Smart website, which is the government website, moneysmart.gov.au.
I think the radio is not in the best position for receiving AM reception because, of course, it has a ferrite rod type antenna in it for AM radio, and I don't think I've got it oriented properly.
.com.au, and I believe that's a free. Driving with my dad in Weverall Park. Wearing.
This? It's my old tram conductor's uniform. Alam moi.
Leads a metre and a half over Madison Louise second. Fly Chevelle in.
This government is walking away from quality early.
Super cover game. Kick left, but no.
Selected on a weekly basis.
Yeah, it's a...
Sacred ties to eternity.
Also out of Brussels.
Hopefully.
Good to have your company here on Macquarie Sports Radio. Nights of a Tuesday. We were talking about names and...
Vote a construction dealer in Victoria with over...
Oh, that sounds dreadful. You'll hear that on AM, reception was quite noisy, but then I've got the Google Home here, which I've just turned off, and then there's the cordless phone over there, and the microwave oven right nearby. So, and I've got a lot of electrical appliances in this house, LED lights, various Wi-Fi connected devices, and other similar products. So, this house isn't really very friendly to AM radio reception. But on strong stations, certainly the local municipal stations here in Melbourne, it's able to pick them up quite well. I think if I had it in a different position and maybe turned off some of the appliances around the house, reception would have been a bit better. You could hear that it was very noisy there on the AM band, particularly down at the bottom end of the band, where a lot of RF noise does tend to be quite noticeable. I bought this radio second-hand back in the year 2000 from a trash and treasure market, and it's been incredibly reliable. It doesn't get used very often, but I've not had a single issue with it when I have used it. I'm sure that the batteries would last a long time if you put batteries in it, especially if you use good quality alkaline or lithium AA batteries. The built-in speaker seems pretty good, and overall it's quite an attractive radio. I think it's quite well designed. This unit was made in Taiwan. I'm not sure where the one Uxwbill has was made. Anyway, thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment if you have one. Bye for now.
Stop.